Bet Motorsports Podcast, brought to you by Bet Motorsports. We're going to talk about off-road racing. David Beckett and all the guys. Sponsored by David's Donkeys.
So are we already recording?
Yeah, of course. We are always already recording.
Always already recording.
Always.
Well, let's jump in and get this going, guys.
Brought to you by
back.
David's Donkeys.
Brought to you by David's Donkeys. Great. I didn't know I had a donkey company. No.
Yeah.
We had a bit of a break there. I went on vacation, and then I had to have my vacation from my vacation to get back in order again. But we're back, and we have a new podcast. And today's topic was dreamed up by James, our local rally man.
Hey.
So what was the topic you told us we need to all talk about, because it's something that's cool?
Off-road racing history and icons.
Right. So we decided to all kind of pick a specific topic in that. And
We're going Baja 1000, people.
yeah, we're going to talk about the Baja 1000 and
Buckle up, kids.
And why don't you actually, James, if you want to kick it off, do we have anything we need to talk about, old business, real quick? Anything in the shop, or we don't, do we?
So let's see. What did we do recently? We worked on a buddy of ours came in with the pre-runner. We did a complete rewire on that. Is there anything else fun been in here since you went on vacation or since Christmas? Chris Warren of Warren Brothers Racing. We did some wiring on their trailer. We did some wiring on one of their. They have some razors that they race out. I think they're going actually to the Mint 400. Is that this weekend?
Yeah, Mint 400 pre-running is happening this weekend, and then 2 weeks from now, I believe, is when they actually have the Mint 400. So they're getting all prepped for that. They're going to bring one of their chase trucks in next week, and we're going to do some wiring, tidy up. I think we're going to add some cabinet lights. Some weird.
Everybody loves the cabinet lights.
Cabinet lights are rad, man.
Yeah, they are.
Got to see your tools.
Other than that, what else happened while you were gone?
I don't think you guys did shit while I was gone.
Oh, I worked on my own motorcycle. I worked on your motorcycle too. That's good.
Did. All right, you worked on my bike.
You hack.
You didn't fix the clutch.
Well,
which one
it worked
is,
fine for me.
Going off topic, well, kind of on topic, but which one is the Mint 400? That starts in Vegas.
That's the one that's 400 miles. And
where does it go? Vegas to Vegas, or is it Vegas to?
No, it's not Vegas to anywhere. It's
it's
outside
laps,
of Vegas.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it
it's
a lap
laps.
race?
Yeah, it's like
Gotcha.
laps. I think it kind of changes every year, but and I don't think it's necessarily 400 miles.
I don't think it is either. Isn't there 400 entries?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's 400 entrants.
Gotcha.
It's kind of an iconic race. Like that's what they all parade through Vegas, right?
And that's when you see like all these $500,000 trophy trucks just going down Las Vegas Boulevard.
Yeah,
Super sweet. I dig it.
Well, hopefully I'll go on another cruise sometime soon and be away from you guys again, because I really enjoyed it. Just so you know.
Well, let's just say the shop was a lot quieter.
Without David. David.
Oh, wrong timing.
Wrong time. Okay. Back to James. Baja 1000, kick-ass race, happens in Baja.
It happens. Yeah, it's down
in Mexico.
It's not here.
So give us some intel.
It's usually in November.
Give us some intel. We always talk about the Baja 1000. Everybody probably knows about the Baja 1000 who's listening to this podcast. But we're just going to go a little deeper. Just dig a little deeper and get some insight and some history on it.
The Baja 1000 is the most bad A race of all time ever, of any road racing series. Of any racing series, sorry.
Is it
What
And
is
it's because it's the longest single-day race, unlike a Dakar or something, which is actually a multi-stage.
Multi-day. Yeah, and Dakar tries to wave their Dakar rally flag around like they made up desert racing. I read a couple of stories on it, and it was something to the effect of the guy who started the first Paris-Dakar rally was lost in the desert, and he was like, wow, the desert terrain, what a fantastic place to hold a race.
Well, the Dakar isn't the Dakar unless you're getting shot at. And let's just say they go to Brazil now. They're not getting shot at.
Right.
Yeah, they're in like South America now.
Yeah,
so
Argentina.
Anyway,
but that was a decade after we were doing this thing.
yeah, right. Because our guys have been doing the. Yeah, you go into it. Tell us what it is.
Okay, we got Jack McCormick and Walt Fulton. They were sales managers at Honda. We're talking motorcycles, all right? And they look at each other and they're like, "Hey, we need a sweet idea to get our new what was it? It was a CL72 Scrambler. That's what they're trying to sell. And I guarantee you that they almost didn't even care about selling them. They just said, "Hey, well,
Giant PR stunt, basically.
what do you
want
to do next weekend?" They're like, let's go from where was it? La Paz, Tijuana to La Paz. And they're like,
yeah, basically border to the very tip.
The
La
tip.
Paz
Yeah.
is the very end.
the peninsula.
And it's about 1,000 miles, right?
Yeah, it's
It's 1260, isn't it?
I believe I have it written down here. Give me a second. 952.7.
There you go.
Whatever.
That is
whatever.
that is super impressive, though. To think that those dudes did it on how big was the bike?
Seems like it's a 72 cc.
Hey, you can't-
There's no way.
I don't know what a
They did it on a
CL72
Grom,
is.
dude.
Basically, no, not even. I wouldn't even give it that luxury.
They did it on one of those Coleman,
Uh huh.
what was that old Honda, the Trail 50 or whatever?
Uh-huh.
Those were sick.
Those things are sweet. They go for a pretty penny nowadays.
So
too.
did they actually accomplish it? Did they actually make it from Tijuana to La Paz?
Oh, they did it. So first they spitball the idea at Bud Ekins, if I'm saying it right. Yeah. And he owned a big old Honda dealership. But he was in cahoots with Triumph. So he was down. He was so ready to go. All right, we're going to ride these bikes. It's going to be sick. Honda, the Peninsula, Baja, the first people to ever do it. We're timing the run. We're going to use telegraph offices. And then Triumph steps in and goes, "No, we can't have our best racer doing a giant PR stunt for a different race company."
For Honda, yeah.
Honda. That doesn't make any sense.
So this dude raced for Triumph?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay, so he couldn't do it. Sorry, let me double check. He was racer, blah, 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 declined round of ties. It says ties. I mean, he sells bikes.
He was
There's
obligated in
things.
some way to Triumph. So
Yeah. So shoot me.
conflict of interest.
So then they go to his little brother because he's been racing prototype ones, I believe. And he jumps on there and goes, "Of course I'll do it." They grab two more dudes. They grab a journalist. The journalist calls a World War II fighter pilot who's one of his buddies, and he goes, "You pay for gas, let's do this thing," because they had some air support, right? And they do the whole thing in, where is it? 39 hours, 56 minutes. And on two little bikes. They did
That's
it.
crazy.
They crushed it.
It's most definitely not 72 cc's.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
So 40 hours, right? So they did this thing in 40 hours approximately.
Exactly.
And do you happen to have the stats on how fast a motorcycle does it now?
I can look those up. I'll get those for you later in the show.
But I'm guessing that it's probably half that.
It's probably for sure.
Let's see.
But the thing is, one time run a race does not make. So you need somebody to go up against you.
Yes, they just had an excursion at that
They
point.
did it. Yeah, they nailed it. Cool, guys. Yeah, have fun. Okay. So then another guy trying to sell some stuff. We're talking Bruce Myers of Myers Manx. All right, Manx
Right.
Buggies. He's like, "Let's go four wheels, boys." And he jumps in his. He grabs some journalists from Road and Track magazine. They kind
Oh.
of do the same thing.
last year, so I apologize to cut you off.
all right.
The gentleman who did the wheelie and then crashed and got in a lot of trouble, he got DQ'd, wasn't it?
Yeah, he did.
Let's see. He eventually crossed the line, was fine in first place, but I think it was 21. Oh, yeah. 21:07,
Yeah, see, half the time.
averaging 54 miles an hour.
Right.
Cool.
Okay. So you got Myers Manx, Bruce Myers. He runs out there with Ted Mangles or Mangels. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Sorry, Mr. Mangles.
My Mangels, they hurt.
Hopefully your Mangles just not mad at us.
Yeah, they go out there with Road and Track magazine, and they do the entire thing in 34:45, beating them by almost 5 hours. So,
Wow.
or more than 5 hours there. And that's what makes a race. So now everybody's reading about it, and they sent out press packets, if I'm not wrong.
But at this point, it's pretty much you go down there and do it, use the telegraph stops that they want you to use,
Yeah.
and then you just compare your time. So you could do it this month, some guy's doing it next
Yeah.
week or whatever, and it's just a matter of these guys comparing the times at the bar at the end of the day going, well, when I did it in 35 hours. Well, when I did it in this truck or this car at this much time. So it's still not an organized event.
Until Nora.
Right, until Nora. It's still, now it's just kind of one of these things that everybody knows about, and it's kind of a bragging rights thing. And, hey, who doesn't like to go for a 1,000-mile off-road ride through Baja? Because at the time, it's pretty sweet down there, you know?
Right.
It was really...
Now, I wouldn't say it's
It's a
as
little
lavish.
sketchy down there at some points.
Well,
but
at least
I mean,
back then they didn't have traps set for you. You know.
Yeah, nobody was
But
setting booby traps.
At the same time, I feel like things are getting a little bit better. As far as I've seen, we do bring in a gang of revenue for those dudes. You know, like if you think about that, how many guys are going down there? Yeah, some are staying in their RVs, but how many people are going down there, staying in hotels, like filling up their spots? You know what I mean? So they kind of have to respect you in a way. Not saying that's always going to happen. Not saying you're going to be super safe by going down there, but at the same time, we do. The vast community of the off-road people is going down there for that race. You know, and we're not going to stay.
I think
So-
Mexico is very welcoming of it. I think they love it.
Yeah, I think so too. I
Yeah.
mean, who wouldn't
So you got exactly what you were saying. People are comparing their times. Heck yeah!
Wow. So that's
be?
Russo
So I totally just jacked up right now, and I
threw a beer across. You can't throw the beers at people and expect them to catch them.
All
Just
I
'cause
wanted
you're
to do was
frustrated?
talk. I'm telling a story.
don't like the Baja 1000. All right.
He's a BMW guy, okay? Well, just leave it, Jake. We'll get it later.
I'm going. All right. So, yeah, they're seeing telegraphed runs, timed runs. Ed Perlman hears about it. He gets a hold of it. And he grabs Dick Kepik, Claude Dozier,
Dick Seapeck.
Ed Orr. Yeah?
Yeah.
Dick Seapeck?
That's okay, Tractor Beam.
Oh,
Keep going.
I'm sorry. Am I supposed to know the name of every off-road racer to live ever?
Only
make
the
fucking
icons who
they
have
make
fucking tires
tires.
named after them.
Classic.
Classic James. I'm a rally guy.
Oh, my God.
If he was from the Netherlands, I would have known him.
You're a Kunkunen. Where is he? I don't see him on here, actually. That's weird.
Dick Sepekik.
Sapeki. So Ed grabbed his freaking buddies. I don't care. And they actually totally blew it.
Oh, really?
They go down there to race the thing to set their own time, and they just immediately run into mechanical problems. And yeah, while he's sitting there roasting on the side of the road, they come with Nora, and they incorporate the dang thing, and everybody fronts up some money for it. And then, let me check my date right here. November 1st, 1967 was the first, what they called the Mexican 1000 rally.
And wait, when was it? What was the date?
November 1st, 1967.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
67.
Where Dave
50 years
Sepik did his thing. where Daniel Kopecky was out there with Ed.
And then they've been and wait, what was the name of the organization that they created?
Nora.
NORA.
Yeah.
What's that stand for?
North American Off-Road Racing Association.
Okay, and that's now
How the
since
fuck
been
does that work?
that's gone now, right?
NAORA.
Did I mess that up?
NAORA.
North.
You really put me on the spot
National
there.
Off-Road
Sorry,
Association.
I'm
I think he looked it up on the
curious.
NOAA website, the National
Off-Road
Oceanographic and
Racing
Atmospheric
Association.
Administration.
What was that other? The NAMBLA, the North American Marlon Brando lookalike association. Wait, what did it actually stand for?
You missed it. I
It's
said it. And you missed
NORA,
it.
National Off-Road Racing Association.
NORA.
You were close.
Okay, no, that's
I
cool.
just threw
Not
American.
North
I wonder at what point in time.
Nobody ever got mad about throwing American in there.
Because I'm a
Sorry.
patriot.
So I did a little looking into the guy that I grew up watching, and I grew up watching him in the Mickey Thompson Stadium Series, which was Ivan Stewart, Iron Man, Ivan. Say it,
Ivan
Ivan?
Iron Man Stewart.
Ivan Iron Man Stewart, right?
Or
And he's a
is
local guy. He's
Stu-
from San Diego. Still is in San Diego. He has a dealership down in San Diego right now. Ivan
Ivan
Is
Stewart.
it
Ivan Stewart
Racing.
Motorsports.
Ivan
If every car there doesn't have white with it doesn't have his color scheme.
and
Well-
independent rear suspension.
I think it's a.
Tractor
I think he's a
beams.
Polaris dealer. I think he sells Polaris.
I don't
side by
care.
sides. I think that's all he
if they
sells.
don't all have the graphics.
Think
then
about it.
it's
A Polaris
lame.
with those decals.
It's gonna look good.
Badass.
With
So-
that heritage, too, you know?
So I got to go watch him race in Stadium Series, and I always used to like to watch him race against because he was Toyota, and the main competitor was Roger Mears, who raced for Nissan. So you had Toyota and Nissan out there banging it out all the time in the Stadium Series. And I was young. I was a young kid. So then I realized that he's actually a Baja racer, and then I start learning about Baja and why he got his name Iron Man, which happens
So
to be,
strong.
do you know why? I mean, you guys know why they call
Was
him
he the
Iron
first one to solo it or something?
No, didn't he? He swam and then he biked and he ran.
Yeah, he swam 50
In
miles,
Hawaii.
Yeah.
and then he biked 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
No.
Was it Tahiti?
Oh, so he completed the Iron Man series. That's
No.
why they call him the Iron Man?
He
No,
eats
that's all
Or
crap.
you guys are just
lots of greens.
fucking stupid.
I think we got Jake on that one.
No,
No,
you did.
they call him Iron Man because, he Iron Mans it. So what happened was in
He flies in a suit.
1973,
A spacesuit.
in 1973, he was going to go do the Ensenada 300, and his co-driver, and it was a Class 2 buggy. It was a Class 2 buggy, like a Volkswagen-powered Class 2 buggy, I want to say. And his co-driver broke his leg before the race and couldn't make it down to Ensenada for the race. So Stewart's like, well, whatever, man, I'm gonna roll solo and just do it. So he drove all by himself for the 300 miles, and he won it. And from that moment on, he was like, no, I don't need anybody
Oh, so
else.
he doesn't have any co-drivers. It's not just that he doesn't have another person drive for him. He has no co-driver?
He has no co-driver. Nobody else drives for him. He drives the whole thing.
But he has a team behind them.
He has a team behind him, yeah.
No,
and
he pits for himself.
He pits for
He
himself. He
changes
gets
his own
out.
tires.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's an Iron Man. Like, you get your truck ready, you get down there by yourself,
That's
you
a- that's a
unload
poor
that thing,
man.
you just drive, and
That's
then
me.
you drive back, you get the thing on the trailer, and you're done,
So here's some stats. This is how much of a winning driver he was. 11 manufacturer championships, 42 main event victories, 3 times more than any other truck team. And he holds the record for the all-time Mickey Thompson Entertainment Group wins with 17.
Wow.
He's got here. I got more stats.
Speaking
I
of
swear
him,
there were
though,
more.
did you see his truck at SEMA? Did you see how badass it is still?
Yeah, it's still.
Still
you look at it, and you
badass.
go, "That's from 1983,"
You're
and
like, holy shit.
it's like all the trucks now are finally up to that caliber.
It was badass. I mean, this
I
is
don't
not,
think I got to look at it.
It
in
was
the
over. So
glory.
it was outside. I don't think you did. It was over. They
No.
had like the there's a couple there's 7.3 pre like a full size pre runner out there.
He's won a total of 82 races, 17 Baja 500s, and 3 Baja 1000s.
17 Baja 500s.
82 wins.
82 career victories.
All he does is win.
That's
Dude
like
just
80.
wins, man.
That's
There's
like
a song
82
about
more
that.
than me.
Did you guys ever get to play his video game? When I was a kid, his video game, every time we go to the movies, we'd play his video
The
game.
one that was like 4-bit. You had like red,
Super
black,
off-road.
and green, and
Yeah, you had 4 steering wheels, and it was a little stadium race, and you'd spin. and
Oh,
you'd-
I've seen that. Okay,
Remember
and
those?
you're all on the same screen. It's
Yeah.
not like a separate screen.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was his?
That was
Yeah,
his
there was
game.
something on
Really?
Facebook I saw the other day because I'm such a damn millennial, and it was like, "Oh, did you grow up playing this off-road game or whatever?" And it's real old
And
school.
you're like, no.
it's
And
like
then-
a block. It's like a block with 4 red dots on it. You're like, "That's a truck." Yeah, I like trucks.
So in '93, he had a significant year in '93. Team Toyota became the only manufacturer in history to sweep the crown jewels of desert racing: the Nevada 400, the Baja 500, and the Baja 1000. He won all of them in 1993.
Boom.
I don't know if has anybody ever done that. I'm sure somebody has.
Boom.
And in '98, he won both the Baja 500 and the Baja 1000.
So
They have 4 races now, right? They
and
have
also he has the coolest livery. 100%.
Yeah, it is super cool.
We're painting the Celica those colors.
I think we should.
Aren't there 4 races now? There's the San Felipe 250. There's the Baja 500, the Baja 1000. Aren't I missing one?
My boat's painted like that. You know that?
No,
Isn't
I
there
didn't
one
know
more
that.
race?
Did you say the Mint
I
400?
mean, not exactly.
Oh, Score puts that on?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't think Score. Does Score put that on?
I don't know.
think they
I'm
do.
trying. No, I'm trying to
Conversation.
think. There's. I
Conversation's
thought they
playing
had
over
4
there.
races.
I mean, the La Paz 200.
We'd have to look it up.
It's not a thing.
So now,
The-
James, you didn't
the-
go into this. Now later on, it became Score, right? Nora is gone, and Score was started because Score was actually started by Mickey Thompson.
I thought Nora was still a thing.
No, Nora's still a thing.
It's just Nora is not the race that everybody races down there. Score puts on that race.
Yeah.
But
so
there's-
when did Score say, no, we're doing the Baja 1000?
I didn't get that far. I was just doing the origin history. You're really putting me on the spot right now, making me feel like I didn't read enough.
Do you guys know who
articles.
Mickey
Just
Thompson is?
to
Yes.
just to make you feel a little better, I didn't do a
Dick
single bit
Cepek's-
of research,
Dick
which is probably why I'm not going to
best
say
friend,
a single
right?
word today. Besides, like, yeah, cars are cool.
That's fine. Hey,
So-
Jake.
Well, let's finish about Mickey Thompson here. Mickey Thompson. Anybody know what Mickey Thompson is? What made him on the map? What put him on the map?
His MTZ radials.
No,
His stadium race series.
no, that was kind of the last thing he did
Wrong.
once he was
Wrong.
already a thing.
The one old Mickey Thompson stadium truck that I almost bought that needed to be fully rebuilt, but the guy was
That thing was sick.
I know.
He was the first American to break the 400 mile per hour mark at Bonneville
Whoa.
That's cool.
Really?
And what?
in 1960.
No, not the time.
It was called the Challenger 1.
That was him that did the Challenger one.
He was the Challenger 1 driver, 406.60 miles per hour at Bonneville.
Is it a bike
That's
or
pretty quick.
doing that in the '60s too. Like,
So he had tons of drag racing championships. He was a drag race guy.
cool?
these are the same. That's the same era. Like, I don't know. Going back to what I know, where like dudes going around like starting with the Nürburgring and stuff like that.
these
You had like
fucking
these
BMW
sedans that
guys.
were full interiors. The dudes would like literally go around corners and fall out of them because the doors didn't close all the way. Like, there's a whole like 4-minute video of one corner from
People coming out of the doors.
Dude, yeah, it was no joke. They came around this, and it was like kind of an S bend, and you'd see them come around drifting, and then they'd go the other way, and there was one dude that literally flew out of his car for like 60 feet, tumbles, and then just gets up like nothing even happened, and he just got back in and kept
Good for
driving.
him.
Yeah.
That's
That was
awesome.
same era,
Wow.
but I mean, imagine going 406 miles an hour with that same amount of safety. You know what I mean? I'm sure they have a little bit more going 400 miles an hour, but I don't know. That's still
Those
sketchy.
guys were all pretty
Well,
crazy.
if you think about, and I'll even throw in a rally series quote for you guys. The Class B, they had that Celica that James is always pining
Group B.
over or whatever. Group B?
Group B.
Oh yeah, Group B, whatever. Their safety standards, you could have an aluminum
Jake says something wrong, and you guys are just like, "Oh no. It's
Class B
just-
and Group B.
just Group B.
Oh, that's such a vast.
I say something wrong, you guys.
that's
guys
because what you
rail
say
me
is
for
literally
like
stupid as fuck.
5 minutes.
Literally fucking stupid.
That was pretty funny, actually, now that you said
That was
it.
ridiculous. Are you kidding?
we need to start treating everybody equally here, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Back
idiot.
back to the real thing though. You could have an aluminum roll cage in Group B.
I remember reading something.
There's
and
did
did you see it? It was on the Grand Tour. Not saying.
Oh, I didn't see it on Grand Tour.
So they were saying that Lancia came out and they said, "Yeah, there's a roll cage in here, sure," but it was really made out of like legit PVC pipe and just super janky, and their cars would roll and they would just be like a pancake. No more roof left, and they're like, "You guys didn't meet safety standards." They're like, "Well, it needed to be light. What do you want me to say?"
You're not
The
wrong.
drivers knew what they were getting into. They wanted to win.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna get that Celica going again. It's
Go
gonna
back
be
to what you were
sick.
saying, Jake. I forgot. Safety standards. Is that what you were gonna say?
Oh yeah, it's just
Aluminum
like
roll
if you think
cages.
from then to now, like if you look at standards of like tubing, like now you have like weight. Okay, your vehicle is within this standard or this weight class. Okay, cool. You need 120 wall or whatever. Like now they're so much further into it because everybody likes to sue everybody for their own poor choices.
Yeah.
Like they really get into safety standards and stuff because they care. People care.
And
You
as
don't
they
want to see a
should.
bunch of people dying in a race series or something
Yeah.
like that. But I agree. Back then, you look at these cars that are racing around like the Formula 3 or
Yes.
the you got one tube going up. No, it's fine. He'll roll. It's cool. What about when he burns to death?
Or like the
because
F1 guy. Was it F1 that used to go around Monaco on these like tiny, tiny little death traps of cars, and it's like, what kind
Well,
of, they
I
didn't
mean,
have
look,
anything back then.
Even to the smallest degree, like when I started racing in parking lot racing, Solo 2, right? We put a roll cage in our little Spitfire. We thought, yeah, we need a roll cage. What if we tip over? Well, the roll cage is heavy, and my Spitfire is slow and underpowered. And if you have a roll cage, it had to meet all these specs, and it had to be a certain amount of inches over my head. Well, I'm tall. I don't know if you've seen me. So when I sit in that little car, the roll bar had to be like massive,
huge.
right? So we're doing all this custom stuff for this roll bar, and by the time it's all done, you got like 100 pounds worth of roll bar in there. And so we're like, well, do we have to run a roll bar? And they're like, well, no, your car didn't come with one. You don't have to run a roll bar. Oh, we
Why do I
cut the
have it
stupid
in
thing
here?
out and threw it away, and we raced in a
perfect.
convertible with no roll bar because
Sweet.
lighter, faster, better, whatever, you know?
Convertible with no roll bar.
Yeah.
That's why you got a passenger seat. Nobody
So-
in it. Just duck over there.
So I totally see where these guys are coming from. They're like, if it doesn't have to be in the car, I don't want it in the car. I want to go fast.
Nobody wants to consider themselves a driver who's going to crash or roll or whatever. They're like, I'll be fine. No,
Yeah,
I
it'll be
won't
fine.
need it.
It'll be fine. What do you got?
Fun
What do you
fact-
got from the Baja 1000 there, Jake?
I guess my whole thought process on it is like, how many classes do you think there are now, like in the Baja series? There's
God, they got a class for everything.
There's
yeah.
got to be at least, 20?
Well, you have to consider now they have like a Pro Series and Sportsman Series. Sportsman Series, there's no payout or whatever, Pro Series, there's a payout. You get points.
That's
All that
full-blown,
stuff.
like, multi-million-dollar teams just about, right?
Yeah, and I mean there are teams that can go down there and like let's say you want to go race, you can pay. There's companies that you can can you pit for me? Like you don't have to necessarily have an entire pit crew because there are companies that will do it or teams that will do it, and you can join onto their pit team or whatever. But I mean in Pro Moto and ATV alone, you have one Pro Moto Ironman. I can't imagine a lot of people try to do that. Pro Moto Limited, Unlimited, 30, 40, 50, 60. You got riders over 60 years old, Pro Moto 60. Man, I am 24, and I would die if I tried to race that thing alone, let alone being 60. But I guess the whole thought process of it is what do you think of the most like common suspension style in like off-road racing is?
So minus motorcycles.
Minus
So
motorcycles
four-wheel
and
drive,
quads.
four wheels.
Yeah.
What's the most common?
Long travel I-beams.
I-beams.
Yeah, they're cheap.
Okay.
You have
What-
all those
what-
sportsman's dudes.
I'm going to say, like, center-mounted A-arms with a 4-link in the rear.
Gosh, most common. There's
Chenoweth.
a ton more buggy
Front end.
classes, right? There-
Chenoweth is not. That's a guy's name. That's a brand.
Chenoweth buggy thingies on the front.
Are there
how
more?
how
There's
those work?
tons of buggy classes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would just have to think that the most common is going to be like some sort of control arm.
It all goes back to Volkswagen, man.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
You got class. What is it? Class 11. That's just a stock freaking
So-
Stock
Volkswagen
bug.
bug.
So I was right.
you were in the right.
Oh,
boat.
nice,
Except you
buddy.
said-
Good job there.
Throwing things at people's cars.
Suck
now.
it, Jake.
He's so smart.
Chenoweth
Everybody.
buggies.
See, this,
There's no
this-
R.
And he wonders why we bag on him when he gets something wrong. Look at how he is when he gets something right.
I need this. I need this. I know,
He's
but
gonna
if
put me
you
on the
think about
map.
it, you have class 5, you have 5 1600, you have class 11. What's that? There's also that. There's one 1600,
12
which
car?
is the single seater. There's two 1600, which is the 2-seater. I don't know. Those are just a couple classes on their own. And all of those have, independent rear suspension. They have the beams up front, or not beams. They have a what is it? A torsion. What the
Torsion
hell-
bar.
What do you call that?
Yeah, it's a torsion.
Well, it's called a torsion beam,
torsion
but there's
front end.
I don't know. Whatever. Volkswagen designed all this stuff, and it's funny just to see everything has really come down from like a from this
Well,
one
that's how
design,
it's evolved
and
from.
it
It's
works.
evolved from what was there in the beginning. Like
Yeah.
James was saying, Meyer's out there in his Manx, which is just a bug with a plastic body on it,
I think that was like the original of like Lego pieces, isn't it? In a way, because you got guys that either you're gonna lower your bug and make it, like the street rod, and I've seen dudes that even make them into rat rods. Like there's so many different ways to skin a cat when it comes to bugs. You can off road it, you could street it, you could turbo, you could, I don't even know. There's a bazillion different ways.
Yeah.
But it's kind of cool because it is so universal. It's like, I don't know. I used to have a bug, and me and my brother were like, yeah, let's make it into a street rod. And it was like, should we make this thing an off-roader? And we were like, yeah, that's a good
should
idea.
have.
We should have, but
They
never
had-
got around to it.
They had to do like massive amounts of R&D to build trophy trucks. Trophy trucks started as a class, and there wasn't a lot of them. And it was this open class. And then there was, some really big companies like ID Designs, Jimco, stuff like that. And
Oh, ID Designs.
yeah,
I know a guy who like fabbed all their stuff.
do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, thanks, Jake.
Yeah.
Oh,
no
thanks.
problem.
That was a
Good job, Jake.
that was a
I
civil.
I didn't know that they.
Hey, I know a guy. and stuff.
Hey, Walmart? I go there sometimes.
But yeah, they had to do R&D to build trophy trucks. Trophy trucks weren't like, you know,
You didn't really
what
build
you
a
guys,
trophy truck
what
at home.
you guys are talking about, like the evolution of
Yeah.
what was around and stuff. They took those and were like, okay, how do we build the most badass thing that goes over dirt hills,
Yeah.
small dirt mounds at high velocities in Mexico?
Where did Ivan Stewart come into the game of Baja?
Wherever he wanted.
Was he into it right when it first started with like where they were literally just racing bugs and whatever else, like motorcycles type stuff? Or did he come into it when like the pre-runners were starting to like take
1973.
evolution? 73 was when Ivan Stewart first raced the Baja.
He did the Baja 300 in a Class 2 buggy and won it. And then he did the Ensenada 300 in a Funko buggy, a Funko Volkswagen Class 2, and was the overall winner.
Damn.
At 1973.
12 hours, 17 minutes, and 28 seconds.
Right. So,
Which is really great here because it's funny. There's a bunch of double up names. It's like, this guy was in a Ford Bronco, da-da-da, and the only single name is just like, Ivan Stewart. He did it by himself.
So now you said the first time the guys in from that Honda dealership took those little Hondas down from TJ to La Paz was 1967?
Let me double check.
What is a truggy? You remember the Herbst truggy?
Yeah.
That's like well known to everybody in off
The,
road.
the way I don't remember what the truggy was, but all I remember was it was basically
It's a trophy,
trophy
truck,
truck
with a buggy body.
With a
with
buggy,
a buggy body.
I'm
right?
trying
'Cause
to.
I think a buggy has independent rear suspension.
Yeah.
And a truck has a live rear axle.
Yeah,
So is it a buggy body but it has a live rear axle?
correct.
Yeah, I think
But-
that's what it is.
I'm trying to
And there's
figure
an
out.
engine. Is the engine different too? Is
Yeah,
the
because
engine
I was about
placed-
to say trophy trucks are forward engines.
Not necessarily though.
No,
Some of those are mid-engine now.
are they really?
Yeah.
I saw a couple of those.
Okay.
Remember we saw those mid-engine ones at SEMA, James?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out. Well, I mean,
Because
I don't know.
a buggy to me is a rear engine, like not mid engine or a forward engine. Like that's what a buggy is to me.
Yeah.
Looking at me like
I'm
that.
glad that you.
You know what I mean? Like
wanna
to me,
know what it
that's
is.
what a
To
buggy
me,
is.
a buggy, the engine is behind the rear wheels.
Yeah. And to me, like a trophy truck would be considered either, I guess, a mid engine or a front engine.
Yeah.
Is that how? Is
A
that how you're
mid-engine
supposed to say it?
is an engine in front of a rear axle.
Yeah.
A rear engine is an engine behind the rear axle, and the front
Yeah.
engine is in the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if there was another term for it. Front engine sounded really. Like
You call it a forward engine, even though the engine is halfway in the cockpit.
Yeah. Yeah, like the $1 million diesel. Did you see where the engine is in that thing?
In the
Yeah.
car.
It is damn near the dashboard.
So wait,
basically.
did we get back, James?
Oh,
Did-
so it's like a 5.4 Triton?
Yeah, I
Good,
believe
good,
it was.
Yeah, basically.
Love working on
62,
those.
63.
62. 63.
62, 63.
So that means that, it's probably 10 years. So I don't know at what point did they actually start and turn it into a sanctioned event, though.
The first one was that one was in 67.
Yeah,
October 31st, 1967.
So like 6 years later, you've got, but see, he didn't win his first Baja 1000 until 75 Ironman, but he was racing in that stuff all the way back in 73. And who knows, he could have been racing it since 67, but I don't have any stats here showing a win until 73.
Here's a question I have for all of you. If you had to do the Baja 1000, what would it be in?
Class
or
11.
On?
Hey,
Class
Jake,
11?
what's
Give me
Class
a-
11? Yeah. What a.
Stock Volkswagen bug.
Yes.
The guys
I think
who
you'd have to
rarely
because
finish.
really, I mean, depending
be
on how
dick.
far you get, it'd be kind of
Well, it's just
badass to
not
do it
long
in that.
Okay, no, that'd be terrible. Did you know that actually you can, there's, let's see, Hammer Truck Unlimited and Hammer Truck Limited. You can drive King of the Hammers rigs now.
Oh, that's cool.
Really?
Yeah.
Because why not? You put all the money into making one of those.
Yeah.
You might as well race in more than one place.
What was his
Let's
name?
see.
Who was the Collins guy? He drove a trophy truck, and it was a diesel trophy truck.
That was like the first
Was
diesel trophy
badass.
truck.
But
But weren't those
Like, or
guys?
one
Aren't
of
those
the
guys
first.
out of like Valley Center?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Fun-
What's the last name again?
I think it was Collins.
Brody?
They're all like
or-
former military
Colin.
guys, right?
Oh, I don't know about that. But
Fun
that was-
fact, I
I might be
read
thinking
that
somebody else.
they're limited from 5.5 to 6.6 liters in diesel, which I don't know why.
Well, because
6.6 is
why
the
would you
Duramax,
use anything
actually.
other than a Cummins? Is actually why.
That is the real reason.
Oh yeah.
So you would do a Class 11 if you were to go. If somebody said,
Fuck no.
"Jake, we want you to go race the Baja 1000,"
I have back problems. That would destroy me.
what would you choose? What would you choose?
I'm actually looking at this right now. I don't know. The trophy trucks are cool. Class 1s are cool, but I'm really not that great of a driver.
I want
kind of
whatever's
an idiot.
unlimited. I want a class that's totally unlimited. Which is what class?
Well, you have, let's see.
Unlimited.
Trophy trucks.
That's unlimited.
So you
class,
have
I'm pretty
trophy
sure.
trucks,
Class
you have class 1s, which is an unlimited buggy. You have a class 5 unlimited, which is an unlimited buggy that has a fucking Volkswagen body on it. Let's see, 3000, which is unlimited mini truck with a 2.2 or 2.4 Ecotech.
I want the unlimited. Like when it says unlimited, the rule book just says you open it up and it's one page and it just says unlimited.
All right, then class 1. So okay,
One-
well, do you want to
not
drive a
even a
truck or a
sentence.
buggy?
Mm,
You seem like
Buggy.
a buggy guy. Yeah. All
Buggy.
right. So you're a class 1 guy. What about you, James?
I was just thinking about this, where I was going to land.
I just don't like people telling me what to do.
Honestly, is there like a
Yeah.
7S class?
7S. Let's see. What's class?
Yeah, door
There's no
bangers?
BMW class. I mean, there is. There was a guy in
Isn't it
Escondido, all German auto, used to race a BMW down there.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
an-
where the
it's
dude
like,
is?
Open,
Chris?
7 is
What's
like
his
an
name?
open
Chris something?
pre-runner. Open production mini pickup trucks.
Yeah, but I hear them called door bangers because they have to have the stock doors.
So
And
they're
I'm
always
just
like banging around because they break open.
And I just think that's cool, just because it sounds like those are the guys who are building a pre-runner in their backyard or whatever, and they're going down there. And
It's real grassroots.
now I've seen lots of Class 7 trucks that have been
There's
they've
some
got-
badass
Of-
ones.
yeah, it's almost a staple. You got your trophy truck, and there's there's your Class 7. That's like.
Did you guys ever see
what
the
your
Corona?
junior race team is racing right now? And I'm like, oh, cool. It's still like a $300,000 truck.
Did you ever see the Corona? I don't know if it was a Class 8 or if it was. I don't know. It was because you know how you have trophy trucks, but you also have the center mount A-arm. They're not trophy trucks, but they're Corona used to have one. That's all I'm getting at. It was an F-150, like the. I think it's the 10th generation.
Oh,
But
wow.
my generation F-150 single cab, it was just a badass truck. I saw it going through Escondido one time, and honestly, I think that's what I would pick. So I think that's a Class 8, which is full-size 2-wheel drive trucks. That's probably what I would do because that Corona truck was freaking badass.
Yeah.
What about
That
you,
would be
Russo?
cool.
I don't
Jeez,
know.
I really think he would race. What's that Powder Puff one? Where?
Oh, the Powder Puff 350. That's the one. That's the girls one, right?
Yeah,
I would totally be into that.
he would be.
You have a bunch of
A
lady
big-
racers around.
But
Huge
here's the thing.
Dave married
Is
a
that-
lady racer.
I
I want to
did.
go to their events.
I would
wanna find
be-
me one.
You know how the guys have the umbrella girls? I would be the umbrella guy at the finish line.
We
And
could-
Smart.
the starting
Yo,
line.
Smart. I had a couple of buddies in high school who were
Yeah,
on
they were the
cheerleading
cheerleaders,
team,
right?
and we all laughed at them until the first pep rally when they were throwing the girls up, and we were
Yeah.
like, "God damn, they're geniuses."
What an idiot I am.
Oh, you got Jeep speed classes. You
So,
wanna go
I don't know,
drive
I
around
think-
that's what we should do. We should make that Grand Cherokee into a Jeep speed.
I literally said that 2 weeks ago.
Hey,
You should
David,
come up
isn't
with
that
better
a
ideas,
great
James.
idea?
Good idea, Jake.
Thanks, buddy.
You're so smart, Jake.
I try. I go
No.
to college sometimes.
I think, in all honesty, I
love my
would probably
job. I
do
love my
because they have a
job.
razor class now, right?
Oh, they do have a racer
There's a
classes.
UTV
Yeah, yeah,
class.
yeah.
So,
you
I think
have,
that
hold
would
on,
be.
Hold on, shut up.
They finish right behind
up.
Class
Shut up.
11.
Shut up. You have Pro UTV, which is naturally aspirated UTVs. Pro UTV FI, which is forced induction. Pro UTV Unlimited, which is unlimited UTVs.
I think I would go with that one.
Unlimited.
It's
because-
a freaking buggy. It's not a UTV anymore. You can
Yeah, but-
literally do whatever you want to it.
The way I look at it, UTVs are really kind of easy to drive.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can get ahead of yourself real quick, but I think that would be. I don't
You
know.
have a lot
'cause,
more fun,
dude.
right?
Think about it this way: if you're driving a full-blown unlimited trophy truck, that thing weighs 11,000 pounds or something like that. Those things are so freaking heavy.
Your math is
I don't know.
slightly off.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. How much do those weigh?
They were like 11,000 pounds.
Holy shit! It's like
How much-
it's like
It's like
How
my
much do
son.
they weigh?
Dad, I don't want to do that. It's going to take like 100 hours.
Yeah.
Just brush your teeth. It's going to take like 50 hours.
Wow,
and each time you
that's
ask
kind
them,
of
it
the-
goes down a little until they're right.
40
You're like,
hours,
keep going.
5 minutes. But so I don't know how much do those things weigh. Probably
Probably-
7,000.
razor?
No,
trophy
like a
truck.
full-blown trophy truck.
I guess like 5,000 pounds.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Yeah.
That
Who
seems
knows?
really light. I don't know.
Dude,
Either way, I just think it'd be way more fun to
the
drive
body
around.
panels are an illusion.
Illusion,
It's
maybe.
fiberglass.
I don't know. I just think it'd be way more fun to toss around like a little razor or whatever it is.
And you know,
rather
trophy
than,
trucks don't have the horsepower to push that weight around either. So you know, that's just ugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't want.
They don't
to.
have like
They're
1,000
so
horsepower.
they're so
Yeah,
like
900.
laggy. You know, like why would you want to drive that?
Yeah, it takes like 100,000 miles their hours to get to 60.
They're limited by their aerodynamics more than they are the power under the hood. They'll get to speeds where it's like, oh, well, we can't go faster than we can't break through the air good
exactly.
enough.
You
Yes,
get to
140 is it.
I guess I can only do that with
Damn.
like 37
Why
inch
won't all
tires.
this air get out of the way? Gosh!
Yeah, did you see that that video that BJ posted? Maybe like 2 weeks ago, coming into a turn at like
Old BJ, you guys are on a first name
Yeah,
basis.
yeah.
he's
You
my
know.
buddy
We follow him on Instagram, so you know we're
Ryan
cool.
Jensen. I don't know what his name actually stands for. I don't think anybody knows what his name actually stands for.
It's
but
BJ.
he was coming
I know
into a turn hot and then just pitched it sideways and came right off the asphalt.
I think he said it in the comments I read, and he said entry speed was 125, and he's just pitching it sideways, full blown drift, and then counters it the other way, perfectly goes around the corner, and
Guy
Nails
can
it?
drive. Guy
He
can
Nails
drive.
it?
Oh yeah,
Just nails it.
Oh, yeah.
Sick.
dude
Nails
drives
it.
good,
Sick.
man.
So I'm going off topic right now because there was a dude named what was it? Bill Caswell, and he basically bought a $500
BMW.
BMW.
Oh, yeah,
and
this guy's great.
He,
Weird.
Well, no, it's serious because he went.
Hey,
to,
James bought a $500 BMW.
Yeah, he
you
did.
should go race in the
So we
Nora
should.
1002.
So he raced some series. I forgot what it was, but
Mexico
basically
Rally.
he showed up.
WRC Mexico.
Is that what it was? So Mexican Rally. He shows up and is just like way out of line as far as like how prepared his car is. He ends
So is
up.
it underprepared or overprepared?
He was underprepared for
Okay.
sure. He shows up, and I guess like everybody in the classes that he was in just broke down. So he ended up winning with this $500 like rally car.
So he shows up late. I read the
He
story.
showed up
too.
late too. Yeah.
He shows up late. No, he gets put in the pro class. He gets put in with Ken Block and all the big boys.
Yep.
Let's just say Ken Block because everybody's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, that one, the important one. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
Ken Block was in it, the important one. And yeah, everybody crashed out and stuff, and he was just flying around
Cruising it.
corners, banging rev limiter, just slamming her out, and
And
Yeah.
so after that race, he went back to the drawing
He wins.
boards, basically made it into a long travel E30 is what I got from it, and he attempted to do the Baja 1000. But I don't think he did as well that time. He kind of crapped the bed,
out, which is why nobody talks about
which
that
is
time.
why nobody talks about it. But I think that would be kind of sick. Like the whole story behind that is pretty crazy. That you took a $500 car and
Yeah, that's
made
100.
it probably into a several $1,000 car after they were done with it, but it still looked pretty cool. He went to SEMA and all that stuff a couple years back. You guys are telling secrets over there. I
That
don't know
is
if I like it.
neato.
Oh no, sorry, we were just using when we were in prison. We used to have to communicate with hand signals.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we can communicate while you guys are talking. You don't know what we're doing. So.
Totally
Oh.
didn't listen to anything you guys said, so sorry we didn't provide any material.
Well, you
for that.
guys were talking about that. We're all of a sudden I'm over here going, you know, racing is expensive. Racing costs a lot of money. I've done it in the past. I've been a part of other teams and watched how much money they spend. And yet I find myself now going, hey, what class could I get? Where could we race? Because I want to go race again. Like I want to race again.
Here's what I think
Yeah.
we should do. So you wrote on that page XJ. So I will give you credit. I do believe you said something about Jeep speed in the past. That's all you get.
That's
Moving on to the next thing.
Wanted to talk so bad.
Yes, I think we should build a Jeep speed, and I think we should use our Cherokee. You know, we'll get our videos and stuff, but it doesn't have to be an XJ. That's a little. I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but common misconception is like you see a lot of Jeep speeds. You're like, that's an XJ. That's an XJ. That's an XJ. They have Wrangler Jeep speeds. They have ZJ Jeep speeds.
Okay, so what sanctioning body runs this class? What's
Jeep
the
Speed?
class called? Jeep Speed?
Oh wait, we just decided on Jeep speed. Nobody else gets a choice.
We have a Jeep.
Yeah, we also have a Celica, and we're buying a 1UZ with a manual transmission
What-
for
Yeah,
it.
because
What
technically I'm
what
buying that
offer-
engine as of right now.
Yeah,
so.
it's true.
So technically, I would be part of that team. What is this like Days of Thunder? That's
Yeah.
my engine in that car.
Okay, tell me what California race series that's an off-road race series that's not a rally race series.
Wait, why not?
Why what?
Why can't it be a rally race series?
Because I just said so.
Okay, it
No.
can't. Okay, wait. Let's back up.
We're gonna have an argument.
James,
we are
I'm
gonna
writing
do it
down
now.
all the possible options on my little piece of paper here, and then we can decide which is the best way to go.
Okay, because I'm
It
heated.
could be two. Both. It could be two. It could
I'm
be two.
pissed.
So
Ben
Jeep Speed is
Motorsports-
what score?
No, that actually. So doesn't Jeep Speed have a sanctioning body? Well, they have their own website. That's all I know.
Oh, it's kind of like the King of the Hammer thing, where it's
They're
Ultra
legit.
4. It's like their own thing.
It's because they have Score has their little Hammer Truck Unlimited deal.
which
Most
are
almost
Ultra 4 from the other one.
yeah, almost all race series have a Jeep Speed class, whether it's Best in the Desert or
Snore or
whatever, all of them. They all have like a Jeep Speed class.
Okay, so anybody out there running Jeep Speed who's listening to this, call us
I know a
at
guy.
the shop
No, okay.
during the week sometime. 'Cause
Don't
I know
call
this is
me.
recorded. 760-442-1955. Ask for David. Enlighten me on Jeep Speed so that I can decide if
I've been watching this
I'm gonna
guy's
flush
build
this
on
idea down the
Instagram.
toilet.
This
So
is
now, James,
Also, anybody else who's running California Rally Series, also call David and tell him
okay,
how
wait,
much
let me write
better
this
it
down.
is.
trick question.
California.
All our names are David, so you're going to be calling all of us at the same time.
Rally Series. And what year is your Celica?
85.
85 Celica. And what engine did I just buy for it?
1UZFE from Series 1.
Wait, say that slower. David's a 1UZFE niner.
Was-
Like it's a niner in there, Tommy.
I think
So
you said
1UZFE. It's a 4-liter V8.
Chris Nisley.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm saying
So
it
4-liter V8 out of a Toyota, like a newer Land Cruiser, or what is it?
LS
They had
400.
the UZ
Sienna, or
series.
what is it called?
right. Toyota Sienna.
What is it?
It only, they put $400 million of R&D into it, and
Nice.
it's also an airplane motor, but, it's kind of whatever.
1UZFE. There, I can say it fast now, too.
When you do it.
We just call it the 1UZ.
So now here's a question. So California Rally Series. I remember back when I was racing that when you did something like an engine swap and something stupid like that, you got put into some
Unlimited
wicked
class
unlimited
or
mod
whatever.
class, and you got stomped by everybody who had money.
Yeah.
So you do that, and you've got this beater 85 Celica that's just in shambles, but it's got a badass engine. We're gonna get stomped.
Maybe.
So what if
Unless you want to buy a more expensive engine for me.
So what I found, and we can do whatever we want. This is fine. And I'm not trying
fine,
to stomp
it's
on a
fine.
dream here, but what I learned over the years
Money back.
was that you don't build the car and then find the class and go race it. You find the class and you build the car for that class.
And I've been on this train for a while, which is why I was holding out for a Beams, but now we have a chance to grab a UZ with a manual transmission already attached to it with a bunch of extra goodies for a steal, like
Which we're not going to tell anybody what the price is. 'cause
less
it's a steal.
Yeah,
No
less,
less
so
than-
much
no
less than
less
you
than-
should, be paying for it. So
So
we can talk to this guy.
Which,
If
in all
anything,
honesty,
let's
it's
flip that one.
it's
Let's
a
flip
JDM
that.
engine, though. You get them from Japan because they have to take out their engines after what,
That's an old
45 or
wives' tale.
50K?
That's a wives' tale.
Is it?
Nobody knows that's true.
Oh,
You
you
ever been to Japan?
Prison.
Wow, you guys should kiss.
we're,
we do.
we're tracking right now. We're tracking. We're all
But-
synced up on our.
I mean,
Nazis.
how hard would it be to make that car just a badass autocross parking lot racer?
Well, we don't have to strip
Again,
anything.
dude, again,
'cause we did
remember,
that already.
We
Autocross
already-
racer,
We already have one.
which is fine too. But remember, you just swapped an engine. You're in a mod class. You're going
So
up
you're an
against
X class,
a
but
full go kart.
You're going up against
mod car.
Shatfish.
shit.
Oh wait, even if it's the same, because this is the 3G, the 3S GTE.
Was it ever offered in that car?
Yes, it was.
Okay, now we're talking.
Now this is one of the cool things because all of the classes that I read about said that if you just updated it to a motor that was also offered in that make
Yeah,
and model,
That's the update backdate in most rule books.
totally cool. And you're like, oh, cool. Well, I can update to a high compression 2.0. That
Okay, so before the next podcast, James, your homework is to find a rule book for the series that you want to race in.
I already have it.
And Jake, find us rule book for your series.
Okay.
What do I want to do something.
And
Ru-
Jake,
Russo, you go keep playing with BMWs. And,
Yes.
How about this? You should swap an LS into a 5 Series and then get it running.
yeah,
If
you
I-
should put an LS engine into your BMW.
What do
the
I get if
Burgundy
it's
one.
running by next week?
To drive it.
Running and driving. That's
Oh, yeah,
the key.
see, that's
Running
way too
and
far out.
driving.
I think it could be done. Like the point I'm at right now, So not to steal thunder from anybody, but I got guys coming Monday, hopefully, to measure up the drive shaft, and that way the drive shaft gets made. After that's
Who's
done,
doing
I got
that?
Oceanside Driveline.
They're the guys.
So after that, I made the trans mount last weekend. Motor mounts got beefed up, so the motor is where it's going to be. So now it's making headers, making...
The motor swap is where it's going to be in your motor swap.
Can I make the headers for you?
Do you want to?
150 an hour.
What if I help you? Is that
pretty good deal?
If you help me, it's 200 an hour.
If you
Okay,
if you,
cool. Yeah, I'm down with that.
If you bring the parts, it's 125 an hour.
Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm totally.
Oh wait,
in.
no, opposite.
Opposite. Switch it.
Yeah, okay. You
$300 an hour if I bring the parts.
$1,000 per side.
I just think that you need to make your own headers because part of doing like your first big build, like
Is doing
making the
that.
headers for your car is just the raddest part.
Okay.
Is making the headers. I just think it's the
You
coolest
Did
part.
you make your
Kinda-
headers on the Spitfire?
Yeah, I made those things
Did you see his little like
with the weed
collector
burner and
and-
everything.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
rad.
No,
It's
it does
sweet.
look really good. And trust me, I would love to do that. I just don't know enough about it.
That
But
was
I guess
okay.
that's part of the
See
fun.
this
is
workbench
that,
over here with the vices on it?
yeah.
I went, I want to build my own headers. I need to get a welder. And I went on and found a welder on Parts Trader because it was no Craigslist back then.
Uh huh.
And I found a welder and I went to the scrapyard and I bought all the steel to make my welding bench.
Gotcha.
So I used my welder to learn how to weld by welding a welding bench together. And then I made my first set of headers on that welding bench. Those are the first 2 welding projects I did. Was make the bench and then make the headers.
So do I get like
That was it.
And if
90
you look
wall
at the welding bench, you'll
90
see
wall
how
DOM
the headers
tubing? Is
turned
that what
out.
I'm looking for here?
Wait, what?
90 wall like DOM tubing? Is that what I'm going for?
DOM? Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want
Insta-rust.
your exhaust to ever get crushed, then yeah. Dude, do you think I'm crazy? I had a buddy who made his exhaust system underneath his off-road truck out of DOM tubing. So
Really?
that he could smash on rocks and stuff and it just drag over and it wouldn't crush his exhaust.
So funny.
So see, that
Gotta
was the
have a
plan.
break
Was
point.
the plan was that I was gonna have somebody make the headers because that's a little more intricate, and I wanted to be the one that made like the rest of it. You know what I mean? I wanted to put the X pipe in. I wanted to do all that, but
You do you, Russo. You do
I
whatever
mean,
you
no,
need to do.
I'm all down for the idea. So Martin at Monster Miata, he kind of hooked me up. I haven't settled on a price yet, but he has some headers that were like kind of a prototype thing for something. They were basically just like one was complete, one was half complete, the other one isn't even close to fitting, so I probably won't use it. But
There's 3 headers.
yeah, 3 of them. So it doesn't make sense. There was a bunch of
Well,
like
it's an
scrap
LS3.
stuff too.
Ooh,
So-
that makes
Oh
sense.
no, it's an LS1.
3 banks.
Oh, it's Elsewhere.
So
Oh.
Well, if you've got a starting point and somebody donates a starting point, you can chop them and modify them to make it
yeah,
work.
so
Still,
that's
I mean,
so that's what I'm kind of thinking. I mean, the one side is done. Yeah, granted that's done, but at the same time, like that's the easy side. So if I do the hard side, then technically I could do the easy side if I wanted to. Does that make
I'm just
sense?
saying, participate in it, man. Don't
I think
farm it
so.
out.
I mean, I've already done this much. You know, I had a good buddy of mine help me out last weekend making a trans mount, and it came out like probably better than
You got
I
a good
could have
crew down
dreamed
there.
up.
You got a good crew of guys who come help you with your car.
Yeah, so it's really rad. I mean,
because God knows we don't help them.
yeah,
the
exactly.
truth.
So I don't know. I mean, I've been trying to do a lot of it on my own. I just kind of did the wiring a couple weeks ago, and that's kind of on the right track. Sent the ECU out, so that's basically ready to go. The second I drop that thing in and give it power, it should crank over and have a pretty decent tune to where I could drive the thing around. So I'm pretty stoked now that I know that it's ready to start and I have like that mindset on it. It's like, all right, cool. Let's get the rest of this stuff done and
Yeah.
get this thing started for the first time.
Well, I think you
And-
need to get the whole steering situation out of your head and just move forward with.
And that's
Making
what I
everything
did.
fit.
And after kind of looking at it and being realistic about it, because my whole mindset on that was like, I got the steering box. Like, I'm just changing it to a rack and pinion. It's not that difficult. And then it's like, no, it's pretty difficult.
pretty
So
difficult.
how do I get around it? You know? And I think making obviously new lines, because that has to happen anyway. So
That's not hard. You have someone else do it.
yeah, exactly. So I don't know. And the other stuff is like, I want everything done at once, but I have to realize like, oh, I can come back later and do the AC. I can come back later and do this. But
Yeah,
like
get
the
that
main
thing running.
the main bulk of it, I'm still shooting for my March 17th deadline. So if it doesn't happen by then, I'm going to be super bummed. And then the next deadline after that is April 11th because that's my birthday and I want to drive my own car on my
Aw.
birthday. So, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of a stupid deadline, but I need a deadline in my head.
Oh, you gotta have
You
one.
gotta have one.
So, because if I didn't have a deadline, it'd be like
It's
I don't know,
fine.
September.
It'll get done.
It'll
It's
be like
cool.
September, and I'm like, oh man, I should probably make a trans mount, you know?
Yeah.
You were like every other person on earth who has a fucking project in their garage. That motorcycle?
Yeah.
You know when the deadline for that was?
When?
Me neither. So that's
Okay,
why
cool.
it's still there.
And I have
my
a
shop.
ton of
In your
projects
shop.
other than this car and putting this motor in this car that should be done. And
Like the boat, the ski, the quad.
the boat, the ski, the quad, God knows I started stippling my own handgun and that never got done. You know, it's like, and I just bought another set of wheels, which I shouldn't have done, but it's like, oh yeah, it's a cool
Speaking
project.
of buying things, today was
Uh-oh.
auction day.
Today
It
was auction day.
Yeah,
We-
stop talking about the LS. I'm
What
kinda
did we
over it.
buy?
Nothing.
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 I sold a
boys-
motorcycle last weekend, so I'm down a pink slip. So I had to go to the auction to try to gain a pink slip back.
This guy carries in pink slips like it's a
you-
stack of cash after stripping for a weekend. Like he throws them all over the place. Look
I
what
rain
I
them like
made.
money. Make it rain pink slips in here.
David sent me to buy a car that wasn't for sale today.
Well, I saw it over there. I went to the auction this morning to walk around and look at it. Walked around, looked at it, found the car I wanted, came back to the shop, gave James a handful of cash and said, go get this car for us because he's the, auction guru. And he went over there, and apparently it was in the pile of cars to be auctioned, but it was not ready for auction.
Pile. They were all over each other. Just they start at the
That's
top.
what they do. They just throw them in a big pile, and
Yeah.
they take one off the top and say,
they're
who
like-
wants this one?
Who wants it? 500, 200.
They
200,
drop it
300.
straight
Space,
20
space.
feet off a forklift, just straight to the ground. This is the one for sale.
This is for sale. Who wants it?
P.S. It's got blown out shocks.
That
now.
actually brings me to my whole Jeep speed comment. I can't believe that got lost.
Yeah, Jake had to say something. It
So
must have been so
shocking.
important.
What is it?
How did we miss it?
We should flip the black car onto its lid on a trailer, right? And then we'll tow that out there. That will be our parts rig. That way, everything is exposed for us when
Ooh.
we need to fix something such as a bent axle.
This is
or a
definitely
twisted
redneck racing.
axle.
When you take your parts, you don't bring out spare. You don't take the axle out of the donor car and have it sitting there ready. No. Just take the entire donor car, but strap it upside down on the trailer so
Bingo.
that the parts are available, quick.
Yeah,
In case
yeah.
you need to get to them rapid.
You don't need a sweet trailer to cover all the parts and strap them down if they're already mounted to a car.
They're bolted to the car.
You were going to say flip it upside down, take it out to the desert, slide it off, and light it on fire because it's a good for nothing POS ZJ.
But
There's a lot of hate in that sense.
Aren't you driving a ZJ this weekend?
No, that one out there, that other ZJ is cool.
hey, that ZJ out there is going to be our gambler, the black one, the black and gold
one.
It's going to be the
is
Bandit.
So dirty.
We're gonna sawzall T-tops into it and everything.
Hell yeah.
I'm down with
It's
it.
gonna be sick. And you've already got the mustache, so you can be the Bandit.
I just
We
need
can-
a wedding dress.
We can put a wedding dress on Jake.
Can we cut it into a truck too? I don't know why I've had this
T-top truck.
a T-top truck. It'd be like a Ute. As
Well,
they
if
call it,
anything,
and
it's gonna
I'll
have to be a
crawl out.
T-top fastback because the Trans Am, had the.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we need a
yeah.
well to pull-
And
yeah,
we'll
it's gonna
paint a
look like
chicken
shit.
on
I
the
love
roof or on the hood.
I think we just paint the chicken on the hood and T-top it and
Call it good.
call it good.
It is black and gold, so we're right on
I
par.
know.
Sweet gold rims. We got 8 of them.
And they kind of look like the Trans Am wheels.
It's got a
too.
V8.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Pontiac 400, but
Hey, it's a 318. That thing's quick. You shift you shift that automatic like a manual. It gets going.
goes. It
Apparently,
goes.
my dad bought a Firebird like that right after that movie came out because he was like, "Oh man, that's the sickest car." And then a week later, it rained, and he said it was like pouring in like Niagara Falls through the T-tops, and he returned it.
that would suck.
Right?
Brand new car leaking.
All right, right on, boys.
That's it. That's enough about the Score Baja 1000 and all other random things. We'll catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
Unfortunately, I'm
Bye.
sorry for if you're listening to this. Poor
Follow this
souls.
guy.
Shut up, Russo.
This has been the Bent Motorsports Podcast. Thanks for listening in. Be sure to give us a follow on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube at Bent Motorsports. Stay updated on the latest happenings, future projects, videos, and events here at the shop. Remember, guys, at Bent Motorsports, bids in stock, we've got it.